Going on, Nitrosites? It is your boy, the Nitro General here, and welcome back to another competitive Pokemon team video. Now, I am obviously displaying this team on Pokemon Showdown, which is an app or a website. The app is a little wonky, so things may go wrong from time to time because, just because the app is a little wonky, but the website is probably better. So if you guys want to check that out, that's awesome. I know a lot of people already know what Showdown is, but it's just the easiest way for me to show off the teams. Now, I did a competitive Pokemon video. I mean, it's got to be less than 3 months ago since games have only been out for 3 months, but like a month and a half ago, maybe more. And that was really going over my first competitive team in the game. But looking back at it, I probably looked like a complete noob going at it. Somebody who has never done a competitive Pokemon battle in my life. When actually I have been doing it for 2.5, 3 years now. I have not really done anything with it, so I've only been doing competitive casually for the last probably 3 years now. And I've really been getting into it seriously in about the last year. So seriously enough that I did not go to the Dallas regionals, but I am planning on going to one of the next regionals. I don't know if I'll be going for this Worlds, but hopefully because there's more than one competition a year. So obviously I think I'd like to go to one in the future, hopefully before the year is out. So we'll see about that. Well, I'd love to do that, but right now I am still practicing because I am not great, but I would just love just to go to a regionals and just try out some against, meet some of the Poketubers like A-Drive and Wolfie and stuff like that. I just think it would be really, really fun. So I do just want to say that video will be staying up, but it was terrible. It was really, 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 really bad. Nothing in that video was even good whatsoever. The team sucked terrible. But so this team is going to be the one that I have been using quite a bit in the last month. Well, less than a month. And I do just have to say that when I started off with this team, it's not set up for doubles. I know I probably should be focusing more on doubles because of regionals, and that is the official battle style of competitive Pokemon is doubles. But because when I started doubles with this team, it went to I think 3-0 before I started losing. Right now, I still have a positive win streak, but not by much. But when I started this off in singles, I went 6-0, just first off without losing one match. And right now, I think I am 16-10 right now, so I still have a 6 positive win streak with this team, but I am going to be getting into doubles because obviously that's on ranked. Because I do need to be getting better for this. But yeah, so I probably won't do good in regionals, but it'd be really, really fun to go and do. So yeah, this team is the one that I've been working on for the longest time. And the only thing that still stands from my last competitive Pokemon team video that I did is that there won't be any old Pokemon on this team because I am really just waiting for Pokemon Home that will be released in around a month, hopefully less than a month. I will be only... because I have so many competitive Pokemon on there. Now, I did hear that you might not be able to use them in ranked, which really sucks, but I'm just hoping that... I only heard it from A-Drive, and so I'm really, really hoping that that's not true. If not, I will just breed for some more better competitive Pokemon, but we'll have to see. But I do have a bunch that I don't want to have to breed for all these Pokemon again when I have them all in the game, if I can even use them. So that's why this team will be composed of all new Pokemon, but I do have to say that this team is one of the best competitive teams that I have ever created, and I'm very proud of myself for it. So if you guys have any, there is one Pokemon on here that it'll be the last one on the list, I think, that I don't really bring to that many matches. Any that I have bring it to, it has done very well, but it is the only one on this team that is subject to change. I only put it on there because I needed a fire type for the team. because I didn't really have any good Pokemon that learned any good fire coverage moves. So let's just get started. If you guys are excited, make sure to leave a like on the video, because I may be doing some more soon, because I got some more competitive stuff going around in here. The only thing rattling around in here right now is some more competitive Pokemon sets like, you know, a Bellydrum Greedent that I'd love to use. If you didn't watch my last tier list video, Greedent is definitely went up in some of my favorite new Pokemon, just because it is just, I really like using it. So, and I finally got Bellydrum on my Greedent, because it is an egg move, and I neglected to try to breed to get Bellydrum, and yeah. So, alright, but let's just get into it. I'm rambling. So the first Pokemon, as you can see down here, is Blade, or my Sirfetch'd. Now, Sirfetch'd was a Pokemon that I never really thought about using, because when the game's when it was first revealed, some people had stats for it, like Wolfie VGC and stuff, and were saying that its stats were actually not as good as Farfetch'd, or actually some stats were worse than Farfetch'd. And I don't know how I really can I like click on it so we can see the stats wise or not? No, I don't think so. Okay, yeah, here we go. So yeah. Well, now you can see the whole team there. That's not good. I don't want to do that, but oh well. We'll just have it like this. So basically, I decided to use Sirfetch'd in my second playthrough of the game, which was Pokemon Sword, and it was definitely the MVP on my team, and I knew I had to try to use it competitively. Now it is not super fast. It's not slow by any means, but it's not super fast, which is the only thing that I have to say. All these Pokemon on this team is shiny, by the way. I did hunt for all of them. Don't ask me how many I did for the Dracovish. I will tell you when we get to there, but it's insane. So yes, all of them, I did hunt for them, and luckily I, did the whole synchronized set with the routes to get my natures that I wanted. But yeah, so we got Blade, the Sirfetch'd, coming up first with the Life Orb, which basically, if you guys didn't know, powers up the damage of moves, with the exception of taking damage every turn from the Life Orb. Not a ton of damage, so, but it definitely gives a lot of oomph for his moves, as I should say. I'm not 100. So he is level 100. It's a female. It is shiny. It's got Scrappy too, which is really, really nice for Sirfetch'd, because right now one of the biggest Pokemon out there in the competitive scene is Dragapult, and so it is nice getting Scrappy to be able to hit the Dragapult, because that allows me to hit Ghost type Pokemon. It is an adamant nature. This is the stat spread here. So it's definitely for a bulky, or a physical sweeper. It's not super bulky, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's got a 95 base defense, which isn't terrible, but it's not super good, and its special defense is not great at 82, but it's still not terrible. So yeah, but its attack is really, really nice. It's got a base 135 attack, which is great. But so the moves I have on this thing are Swords Dance, protects first impression in close combat. A lot of times when you go out, I do not like having, I wouldn't Scarf this thing, only because it's got first impression. I don't want to be locked into that, because you can only use it. But first impression is really good, especially because a lot of people don't see it coming. So like if you go out against a grass type Pokemon or a dark type Pokemon, or anything like that, first impression does a lot of damage. It is probably, I mean, does it tell me? Oh god, that's not what I wanted. First impression, yeah, it is 90 damage, so it's pretty good. It does a lot of damage for him, which is nice. And then I have Swords Dance to power up my close combat, because Swords Dance will never really do anything for first impression unless you Swords Dance, switch out, and then switch back in. But so first impression is very powerful for the first Pokemon, the first round in a match that you have him set out for. Sorry about that, guys. So that's really nice. And I also have Protect on him, because Protect is just a good move to have on him. And then obviously Close Combat, because it's 120 base defense, or base attack power. So that's pretty nice to have. Also, especially on a Pokemon that's got this high of a Attack. So yeah, so close combat. Obviously, it lowers your defense and special defense. So that's why you close combat a Pokemon, and then hopefully it doesn't die in the next hit from somebody, or close combat, kill a Pokemon, another one comes in, protects, stuff like that. So that's the first one on here. Is the Sirfetch'd, and I definitely one of the MVPs of the match. This next one here is Dragapult, like I just said, Shiny Dragapult. It is a very, very good Pokemon. Like I said, it's one of the most used right now in the competitive scene. I really, really like Dragapult. Like I said in my tier list video, it is one of my favorite new Pokemon. It is Ghost and Dragon, which are my two favorite typings in the entire game. So, yeah. It does have Infiltrator, which lets me see what I think it's that lets me see what the Pokemon's moves are, or the oh yeah, right. So it ignores like light screens, stuff like that, which is really, really nice. So if somebody sets up like Reflect or something like that, it doesn't matter. It is a physical attacker. And a lot of people do run Shadow Ball and stuff on it, and I guess you can do that, but it's just special attack. It's not as good as in its attack. So that is why I have Phantom Force, obviously, on it. It does have the leftovers, which is nice, just to regain health every time. It is Timid Nature, if I'm not mistaken, or Jolly Nature, that's what it is. So plus speed, minus special attack, which is pretty good for him because he outspeeds everything in the game. At least all the new Pokemon I know he outspeeds. Even Scarf Dracovish. The only thing that he would not outspeed is also max speed Dragapult. Then he would obviously speed tie with it, and then, but it is really nice because he does so much damage. So a lot of people sending out Dragapult. I will send out my Dragapult, and 90% of the time, I outspeed. If I don't, I know that I can always live an attack from from a Dragapult, and then hopefully I outspeed the next time and kill it. So that's just basically what I have. I do have Dragon Dance on it to power up its stats. A lot of times I always try to use Dragon Dance, but a lot of times I always just want to be like, let's kill this Pokemon, and then I never have quite enough time to use Dragon Dance. Most of the time, this is the Pokemon that I Dynamax because it's really nice. It does have U-turn, which is nice to pivot out into another Pokemon. A lot of times it's usually a bulkier Pokemon, like Punisher or Blade. So there's that. And also can use Max Flutterby, which is a lot of people do not see coming, because I do also see a lot of Rillabooms running knockoff. So they send out a Rillaboom to knock off the leftovers and to do Dark type damage, super effective damage to Dragapult, and I can just Max Flutterby or U-turn, which both does a lot of damage. Obviously, I have Phantom Force. I don't tend to use that very much in the battle because it is a 2-turn attack. So once you go into the darkness or whatever, they have the opportunity to switch out into a Pokemon that can take it. It is basically just there, so I have Max Phantasm when I do Dynamax, and then obviously Dragon Darts, which is really nice. But Dragon Darts is not the best to use in doubles, because if you want to kill one Pokemon with Dragon Darts, there's no guarantee that both of the darts are going to hit it. So that is the second Pokemon on here, my Shadow or Dragapult. Definitely the MVP, one of the MVPs of this team. And this is, I pretty much bring this every time and lead with it and just try to sweep with it just because it's so fast. But so there is that. And then next one on here is my Galarian Darmanitan, Shiny Galarian Darmanitan. That is Figgy Berry Zen mode. So basically, if you guys didn't know, Zen mode is an ability just for Darmanitan that turns it into a different form once it drops below half or a quarter health or something like that. That turns it into a different form that is bulkier, faster, hits harder, stuff like that, which is really, really nice. And that has definitely come in clutch, because there have been a few times where I've done battles where I did not outspeed, and it goes down to the Zen mode, and then I do outspeed. Obviously, it is Figgy Berry Belly Drum, because I want to be able to Belly Drum up and then use the Figgy Berry to restore 50% of the health. It is not great because I don't tend to get Belly Drum off a lot of the time, and plus, if you try to get Belly Drum off and you get hit in the same turn, since he's not the fastest Pokemon, So I really got to go for Belly Drum first, and a lot of times I don't get to do that, so I might be switching out Belly Drum in the Figgy Berry set. It was Life Orb before Figgy Berry, but and then I had the leak on Surf Edge, but then I realized that wasn't really that good. So it is Adamant Nature. It's got this is the spread here. So it definitely has a lot of, it is definitely for a physical type. I mean, 95 is terrible for speed, but it's not great. So it's definitely just to get in there and hit and hard and get, you know. So that's why I have Icicle Crash, since there's very many good physical type ice moves in the game, which really sucks. You really think that there would be. And then it's got Earthquake, which I don't tend to use a lot of the time. I tend to go for Stone Edge. I probably would put Flare Blitz on him just so I have a good fire type move on him, and then I can get rid of Inferno, but that would definitely be something, but I don't know what else I would put in there. And then Belly Drum, obviously, and Stone Edge. So Stone Edge is a pretty good move, and I've definitely won a lot of battles because not a lot of Darmanians run Stone Edge. More of them run Earthquake over Stone Edge, but and it just doesn't have a great accuracy. Stone Edge doesn't, so it's not always great. But that is my Zen mode Darmanitan named Punisher. He has definitely come to a lot of games. And now the other Pokemon that obviously you know that I have to have on my team is my Shiny Dracovish that took me like 3,000 encounters to get. Still below odds, and I know A-Drive took like 6,000, but it definitely was hard. Now, I did do a video a while back going over why you should use Dracovish, and that is obviously because of the move over there, Vicious Rend, which with Strong Jaw outspeeding, and because its stab can do like 360 base power, which is amazing. So obviously I have to use it. Definitely named Beast. This is like the only one I think that is still there from my first video. It's not the same Centiskorch as before, but it is the same Dracovish. So it is Strong Jaw, obviously. Choice Scarf, so it can outspeed. It is an Adamant Nature. There's a spread there. Just because I want to be doing as much damage as possible. There aren't very many counters for Dracovish. The only one I really know about right now is Gastrodon, because it's got Storm Drain, or any other Pokemon that gets Storm Drain. So it does have Dragon Rush. It is not a biting move, but it is a stab move. I only want to have that because I want to have another stab type move on him, and there isn't any biting type, dragon type moves. So that's the only reason why I have it on there. I could switch it out for something because not very many people run it. But I might be switching it out for like Psychic Fangs or something like that. I don't know. And then it's got Crunch, which also does a lot of damage, biting type move. Leech Life, which is a biting type move also. And Vicious Rend. Leech Life allows me to get health back, but a lot of times I will just be going for Vicious Rend. Most of the time I either just use Vicious Rend or Crunch, depending on what Pokemon, but Leech Life is a good, healing type move for Dracovish. So, yeah, that is obviously one of the biggest Pokemon on my team, and I have killed so many Pokemon with it. Yeah, so, obviously I had to use Dracovish. A lot of people aren't using him, and I don't quite know why, because he is so good, but Arctazol is also, or Dracozole is what I'm trying to say, is also really, really, really good. So I could try using him too, but obviously because of Strong Jaw, Dracovish is just super, super good. And then the next one is Centiskorch. This is the one that, it was not last. This is the one, my Inferno, my Shiny Centiskorch. This one might not be staying on the team. This should not be Blue Flare. Obviously cannot learn Blue Flare. I don't know why it was that, but yeah, so there we go. So, Centiskorch, it has the heavy duty boots only because it does take 4 times damage from Stealth Rock, because it is a Firebug type. So having the heavy duty boots allows me to avoid that damage from Stealth Rocks, which is nice. It does have Flame Body, which if it makes contact will burn it. It might have been better with Flash Fire, but I did have it on there. It is shiny. Obviously, it is a Careful Nature, which is increased special defense, minor special attack, because it doesn't really get anything for special attack, and it had terrible special defense, so being able to have that makes it a little bit more bulky in the aspects. So, yeah, and then I have Flare Blitz, which is a nice fire type move. Lunge, which lunge over X Scissor only because X Scissor is a TR in this game, which breaks after you use it. So rather than doing that, lunge is the exact same as it, and it lunges by level up. And then Coil, because obviously it raises its defense and everything like that. And then I have Will-O-the-Wisp, just because I didn't know what other move to put on it. But this is the only one that may not be on the team for so long. I don't really use it that much, but it has come to a couple of games and put in the work. But obviously, this thing is just for bug and fire damage. I really do like Centiskorch. I think it's a really, really, really cool Pokemon. But I just don't see it being used very much in this team. But it's just kind of a filler right now. I do bring it sometimes. But yeah, and then the last one on this team is Pinurchin. Zingy, my Pinurchin. Now, this thing right here, guys, is so awesome. I love using Pinurchin. It is way better than I thought. It is so bulky. I mean, look at this. It's got a base 95 and a base 85 defense and special defense. That is not super great, but it's pretty good. I mean, especially for this type of Pokemon. It is better on like a Trick Room team, only because if you see it has a base 15 speed, which is terrible. So it will be going second, but when it does, it does a lot of damage. It is a Brave Nature, which is plus attack minus special attack, or minus speed, which is probably not great, but I wanted something that didn't lower because it can learn special type moves too. So it does do a ton of damage here. It is physically defensive, but yeah. So it does have the King's Rock because I don't quite know what other item to give it. The King's Rock actually has come in clutch a couple times. King Rock isn't really that great of an item, but yeah, it does have Electric Surge, which is really nice to power up my Zing Zap, which is really nice against like Dracovish or anything like that. The only one it's not really great against is Toxapex, which is, don't even get me started. That's the only team right now that I hate going up against, is a Toxic Spikes, Toxic Scald, Recover, Toxapex team. It sucks. I hate it. It doesn't hardly do any damage to it. But yeah, so it does have Poison Jab, which is a really nice physical type move for it. Can poison the target, which is nice. Protect, obviously, because it, if it does get the chance to protect, so it, to outstall a Dynamax or anything like that, which is nice. Zing Zap, which is its best physical type, electric type move, and then Recover to use once it gets really low in health. I do bring Pinurchin quite a bit because a lot of people really underestimate it, I think. Because once you bring it in, they're like, oh, it's just a Pinurchin, and then you use Electric Surge, Zing Zap, and it's just like, boom, you're dead. This is basically my Gyarados counter. So if I ever see Gyarados on a team, I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing it. Because Gyarados can kill Inferno, it can kill Blade, it can kill Shadow. It's just very good against my team. So that's why I bring Zingy every time, because Zing Zap is really good. So that is my competitive team that has been doing very, very well in the competitive scene. Like I said, I do have another one that is the Gears are turning right now. I think I'm going to wait to really do a video on that one until Pokemon Home comes out so I can see if I can use those Pokemon. But, yeah, other than that, guys, this is really the team. Don't want to make this video super, super long. So if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed listening to me talking about these 6 Pokemon in this team, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. I do videos like this all the time. Check out the other video I posted today, earlier today, I guess technically yesterday. But yeah, guys, so that is pretty much it for me. If, like I said, hit that bell, if so you don't miss a video when I post it. But other than that, guys, that is really it for me. Natural General out. Peace.